Testing 1, 2. This. Can you hear me now? Whew. All right. Thank you for raising your hands. I was about to get started here thinking everybody could talk. By the way, it's important that your audio works also. So we're going to be doing that in a while. So if you're done with raising, I'm going to lower your hands until you need to put them up again. All right. Now, there is an interesting thing about Teams, and that's the fact that I can only look at the chat and the participants one at a time. So I'll keep the chat on, but I can see who's down below, and I believe when you raise your hand, I'll be able to see that. But thank you for using that. I'm glad you're able to work. All right, now that we're up and running, is audio good, video good? If you could, I wish they had a thumbs up, but all they have is a raise your hand. So if everything looks good to you, raise your hand. Let me know that everybody can see and hear and know how to use the raise your hand. Good. That may be something that I'll use every now and then to make sure you guys are participating. It's definitely something we want to use. So let's get right into it, okay? So I'm going to share my slides. There they are. All right. And let me put this up over here. All right. Now you can lower your hand, and if you do have a question, do raise your hand after a while. All right. Really good to have you all here. This is a very unusual time to get together over. I usually do this in person. Normally, I have been very resistant about doing this online because we actually, I feel very strongly about the team projects that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And part of the reasons I do that is that Sheev, you still have your hand up. I'm sorry to be distractive, but I just, if your hand's up, I'm like, oh, do they need to talk to me? So just lower your hand if you could, Sheev. Appreciate that. All right. I can lower it for you, probably. Just do this. There, Sheev. Okay, there we go. All right, now we got it. Sorry. One of the reasons I get excited about doing the team project is because there is an aspect that system engineering is a team sport, and it's extremely important that you learn to work together. And part of that is learning this aspect that you want to do the best you can, but you don't want to be arrogant about thinking you have all the answers. Because part of being a system engineer is trying to understand and empathize what your customer needs. And so that's why I love these quotes that are actually on the UMBC campus. And hopefully if they open it up again in January or whatever, you'll be able to go and actually see this actual statue and the bench in these quotes. And the quote comes from one of the founders and one of the people who have given a lot to UMBC over the years. And I love this quote here: try to understand someone else's position and not assume you know what's best for others. And that comes in a great deal at being a good systems engineer, because understanding what a customer needs is more important than you thinking you know what they need. Now, there are times when you have to bring into bear the technology that you're coming to do and what that can help your customer, but really you need to understand the customer's point of view in employing that technology. So hopefully we'll get into that as we do this. So let me just give you a class overview for this first half hour or so. part of this is we're actually going to go ahead and talk to each other. I'm going to have to try to get you used to using Teams. Very important that you do that, especially for the team project. But I want you to think of this class as a system. And of course, every system has a bunch of parts, right? So we're going to go through the components of systems, this 663, and discuss the team project, get into assignments at the end of the class here. So what we basically have with UMBC here is you should be taking several courses. You really should have taken 660, 661 prior to taking this course. I know some of you, some people, I used to have about 17 students in this class, but when they saw the prerequisites, they had to drop out. Very important you know 661 because that's part of this team project, and we'll get into that when we discuss the team project. By the way, this helps you with if you're trying to get some master degrees, system engineering, electrical, or even engineering management. And that's one thing I'll ask you to do is what track are you actually trying to do? Oh, by the way, if you take all 5 of these, you can get a certificate. That's kind of a nice benefit to this as well. You can go ahead and get these 5 out of the way and then do your other 5 and get your bachelor's degree, master's degree. My background, I'm your professor, Paul Martin. I've been working as a system engineer since the late 70s. I've been doing like hair dryers for General Electric. That didn't work too well, but NAVSEA, I was working with weapon systems and communication systems, working for the IC, the Army, and a local agency here. But I am an adjunct professor. One nice thing is I'm very involved in the International Council of System Engineering. By the way, if you've heard of INCOSE, just raise your hand. I'd like to know if most of you have heard of INCOSE. It's actually a engineering society, especially for system engineering. So if you haven't heard about it, it may be something that you may want to look into as well. You can lower your hand. About 5 of you looks like you have heard of INCOSE. So I'm involved with their local chapter. I've actually am their communications director. If you go to our local website, incose-cc.org, that is a website I help build and work. I also own my own business where I actually teach system engineering, especially INCOSE's System Engineering Handbook. But, you know, enough about me, right? So normally we do this live, we go around the room. So what I'm going to do is I'll call you out, and please go ahead and turn your video on and your mic, and just tell me your name, your background, what you're trying to obtain from UMBC by taking this class. And also, you don't have to worry about being taking a number out of the hat. I've already assigned you a group. But at least give me that much information about each of you. That would be great. There's 12 of you here. Hopefully the rest of the people have shown up, and we'll just go one at a time. We'll do it by alphabet here, so by your first name, unfortunately. So Alden Williams, why don't you be first? Just get your video off and put your mic on, and let's hear what you got to say. Now, there may be issues with your mic, understand, but let me do that. Alden, you there? Okay. That's not it. All right. It's okay to go to the chat if you're having any problems with your material, with turning things on and off.
Okay. Hello?
There you are.
Yeah. I'm here.
Oh, are you driving?
No, that's just my laptop, 6-year-old laptop overheating.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna have to work on that. So you don't have any video, huh?
I mean, I have no shirt on. I don't think everybody wants to see that.
No, we don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, next time. Because you are going to go in a team environment, they may want to see your face in that point. So maybe you can do that later. But tell us about yourself.
Auden is my name. From California, and ETA was my undergrad. That's about it.
Okay, good. And what are you trying to get with UMBC? What are you trying to get? A system engineering degree, a certificate? What?
Yeah, system engineering degree cert and engineering cert and project management cert.
Excellent. Okay, good. Well, welcome aboard. Good to have you here.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's go to the next one. Uh, Dig, can I call you Dig? Dig Vijay Patel, if you can unmute, and if you have your shirt on, you can show us your face as well. There you are. Good to see you.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Digvijay, and you can call me Jay. I have
Okay.
completed my bachelor's of engineering in electronics and telecommunication, and I'm from India. And I have always wanted to pursue higher education from a reputed university. And I have heard that UMBC has a great innovation, and I'm thankful for the UMBC to give me the opportunity to fulfill my dream. Looking forward to work with you all, and if possible, in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. That's great. And by the way, have you taken 661 before you?
That is my question. I actually spoke with the UMBC on my mail, and as there was no online classes for 661,
That's
yeah.
correct.
So
Probably should have made it available in the fall, I guess. I don't know why.
yeah,
I think they expect most people to take it the fall before, and then in the spring take modeling, and then by the time they get to me in the fall, you just follow it that way. But I understand you're trying to get through quickly. So hopefully you can help your team out, even though you may not have some of the information they have. So we'll see if this will work or not. Okay, well, welcome aboard, Jay. Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right, Hashim, are you in? There you are. Good to see you. That is a long brick wall there, all the way up. All right. Yeah. You can unmute, by the way. We can't hear you yet. Yeah. See if you can find your unmute button. Nope. Can anybody hear him? I can't hear him. See if you can unmute. Might be a button there. Stupid mic. Yeah. We should have probably practiced beforehand so people could have tried to. Oh, you're almost there. Something came up.
Yeah, I think my headphones are not working.
There you go. We can hear you now. Yes.
So my name is Hashim, and I did my bachelor's in mechatronics from Pakistan. And I have a 4-year experience on oil rig. So I was a maintenance engineer at oil rig, and then I got admission in UMBC, and I have a 3rd semester here in systems engineering. Great. I'm pursuing master's degree here. So let's see, I can find a job after that.
Great, Hashim. Well, it's really great to have you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Jeff, if you, hopefully your mic and...
oh, sorry.
There you are. Hey, good to see you.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you good.
Awesome. Yep, I'm Jeff Cavey. Let's see. My bachelor's is in materials engineering and physics. I'm come to UMBC for my engineering management with a focus in system engineering.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm a I currently work at Northrop Grumman, which is just a stone's throw away from UMBC, so it's pretty convenient for me.
Excellent, excellent.
Yep.
Good. Well, Jeff, I'm actually a Northrop Grumman alumni, so I do know how close it is, and it's good to have you with us. You'll find that program management and system engineering really have to work hand to hand, so it's good that you're taking this kind of emphasis. Some of our best system engineers, program managers, are usually previous system engineers, or at least understand system engineering enough to appreciate us. So good to have you with us, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan Howie, if you're in.
Hey, can you see me? Hear me?
Yes, we can see you, Jordan.
How's everybody doing? My name is Jordan. I got my, did my undergrad in a dual degree program. So I got my bachelor's in applied physics from Morehouse College and another bachelor's in aerospace engineering from University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. So I'm going for my master's in systems engineering at UMBC, obviously. And currently I'm a systems engineer at the Aerospace Corporation.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's really great to have you, Jordan, with us. That's great. All right. All right, Kalish. Can't really say your last name, Kalish. So.
Kalenchi.
Kalenchi, sorry.
No problem at all. Nice to meet you. I did my bachelor's degree in industrial and systems engineering. I'm currently in their certificate program, but I also want to obtain a master's. I kind of just want both. I work at Leidos as a systems engineer currently. And yeah, that's my life story.
Okay, good. Well, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right. Marcus, if you're available. We're almost through. Marcus Jordan. If you're having trouble with your mic, or there you are. There you go. Good.
Okay, so my name is Marcus Jordan. I got my undergrad degree in industrial and systems engineering from University of Pittsburgh, and I'm getting my master's degree in systems engineering here with the professional certificate in cybersecurity. Currently, I work for the federal government down in Fort Meade, and before I started working for them, I worked for UTC Aerospace Systems in Dayton, Ohio, which is where I'm originally from.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to Maryland. Hopefully you like us here. I know Ohio is kind of nice, but yeah, it's good to have you with us.
Thanks.
All right. Nosher, is that how you pronounce it? Nosher?
Hey, Professor. Yes. Hey, everyone. My name is Nosher Qureshi.
Okay.
I did my BS from UMBC in Information Systems, and currently I'm enrolled in engineering management major with a focus on systems engineering.
Perfect.
And work at CGI as a software engineer. And this is my third semester at UMBC.
Great. Great to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Only a few more. Precious, if you're available. Hopefully, and if you can't, if you're you have any issues, just get on the chat. I'll keep track of that as well. All right. Precious, are you there? It is Precious, isn't it? Could be Precious. Hello. Okay. Rohit, if you can come on board. Let's hear you. There you go. We see you. Good.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Rohit Kamble, and I did my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunication engineering from University of Mumbai. That's in India.
Okay.
And I got no work experience, but I do have experience in configuring routers and switches and all, designing networks in basically a lab environment. So I'm doing my master's in systems engineering with an approach with cybersecurity at UMBC, and this is my third semester here.
Okay, good. Well, it's good to have you on board. That's great. All right, welcome aboard. Precious, if you want to try to jump in, if you were able to get your mic up and running. Can't hear you yet. So, Chief Patel, is it Chief? Is that how you say it? There you are. Hey, how you doing? You're not unmuted. It could be your microphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You have to
Yeah,
talk right into
I
that.
try to let it get closer to my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Shiv Patel. But
Shit. Gotcha.
yep,
Okay.
I did my bachelor's in information systems at UMBC,
Okay.
and also doing engineering management as my master's and system engineering as a certificate. This is my last semester. Um, pre oh yeah. So right now I'm an active DoD employee as well at Fort Meade. Previously, I was a contractor to the Department of Energy. Um, that I it was a system engineering position. And right now, I'm just an IT management specialist, so it's gonna be teaching me a lot of stuff for engineering
Great.
perspectives.
All right. Good to have you. Shiv, right?
Yep.
Chief. Okay, great. Great to have you. I think we heard Precious there just for a few seconds.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, we can. So I know you probably
Oh,
have
okay.
a little
Yeah,
bit of.
I've been, yeah. I don't have a cam on my desktop, so yeah, it's old school. Anyways, I'm Precious. I got my undergrad degree in chemical engineering and business at New Jersey Institute of Technology. So right now I'm trying to get my master's in engineering management and the systems engineering certificate as well.
Excellent. Okay, good. Well, good to have you here, Precious. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. And I think the last but not least, Will Ozafik or Will.
Hey.
Hey, Will. Yes.
I'm Will Hoskovic. I got my bachelor's degree at Florida State in electrical engineering. I'm pursuing a systems master's here at UMBC. I currently work for Northrop Grumman as well, doing electronic warfare. So,
excellent. Okay, welcome aboard. Good to have you. I think we're just missing one last one is Camden Nace. He's not on board yet. All right, so that's good. Let's get over here. Let me get back to my slides. I believe you can still see my slides. Okay, you can. Yes. All right. By the way, you should be able to see the slides big if you want. If you don't, and they're in the upper left-hand corner, we'll discuss the kind of the uses of Microsoft Teams. There's just a few things that you need to understand in order to make it more effective for you. We'll get into that as we're doing. By the way, my email is fairly simple, pmartin@umbc.edu, or you can hit send email through the Blackboard app. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me, is mainly because I use Blackboard extensively. We'll talk about that. Blackboard will have the latest information that you need in order to do well in this class. So with that in mind, let me actually switch to Blackboard. And I'll probably be asking you some questions to raise your hand as we move along here. Let me switch, start sharing. Here I am again. Let's see, PowerPoint screen content. There we go. All right. So now you should be able to see, this is the actual Blackboard. And as you can see, we have announcements, usually do announcements for things like if graded, or I'm expecting something to happen. As you remember, I gave you some announcements on how to get into this class. That was a very important thing. And then, of course, the welcome page. Now, one of the aspects of my Blackboard, you'll find I do a lot more extensive structure in Blackboard than most professors. So you'll notice most maybe have 1 or 2 folders. I have a lot. I try to organize the material in such a way it might be easy. It may not be the way you would organize it, but you know, I had to organize it some way, right? So what's nice about the welcome page is you can open up this scope and sequence, which is actually a spreadsheet. And in there is the dates of when I expect certain things. Like over here, homework due is September 21. I really don't want you to get confused about when things are due. So do print this out, or at least try to know when I expect certain things. It really would be helpful for you to pull this out. As a matter of fact, next week we're not getting together. It's Labor Day, so enjoy the day off. But we will be getting back together in 2 weeks for Class 2. Also, I have the syllabus, which I also, of course, print right here. I have for you, which also explains what I'm expecting from the class, as well as our class schedule. On the online classroom, where you have the link, and that's how, of course, you got to Microsoft Teams in order to make it work. What we'll do every time I have a class, I'll be going in and doing a meeting that you join, and it'll say Class 2, Class 3, so you'll always be able to find it. I'll talk more about Microsoft Teams after we're done with this one, because I really want you guys to be comfortable with both Blackboard as well as Teams as we're doing that. The other thing I have is class folders. Now, what that does is allow you to see upcoming classes that are and what is expected for you. I do have a read ahead and quiz for every class. So you go in there, read the various articles. There'll only be a few pages. Sometimes it'll be a link to the SE BOK, and I'll ask you to read that article. And then I have a quiz that you should do prior to coming to class. That's the class folders. So you'll see, as you can see, Class 2 is already there. You'll be able to go into that. Of course, you have 2 weeks for that one, but you'll see us build up the classes as we go along. Assignments, I did this separate. Usually the assignments are underneath the class folders. There's only 5 of them. As you can see, homework number 1, we'll talk about that at the end of the class. That's due by week 3. And so if you're wondering what the assignments are, you can go here, or in the class folder, as you can go here, you'll see there's a homework assignment there as well. So just putting in 2 places for you to try to find it. I don't want people to get lost in this stuff. You only have 5 assignments. It's important you see each one and try to work them. We will talk about each assignment at class. And of course, I'm recording these things, so if you do miss the class, you'll be able to go back. I ask you don't miss the classes because I usually have team projects, team get-togethers to talk about certain concepts that we'll be working on that will actually help you either with the homework or with the team project. So speaking of the team project, I have a whole folder dedicated to that. The team project's there. I have the specs. You don't have to read all the specs. I'll explain that to you when we go into each team that's there. Your team, somebody in your team has to download Core and actually activate it on their laptop so they can actually start working on taking the initial Core database right here that you download, upload that, and then you start working on that Core database that I already given you in order to do some of the team project work that we have. By the way, I should make sure that nobody's raising their hand. Let me put this on the side. There we go. Put you over here. Sorry, guys. Just trying to. Okay, everybody's good. All right. I have to. Can you provide access to all assignments so we can go on ahead? No, that's a good idea. One reasons I don't do that is I explain the assignments. I don't want you, I've had students do this before. They start trying to work the assignments before understanding what I'm trying to get across. So it'll be a waste of time. You'll get 2 weeks to do the assignments. I provide access to them 2 weeks before that you do that. So we can talk about that more, Alden, as we go along here. All right. Where else are we? Okay. Team project class testing is where you go to do your midterm and your final. And then class references. And by the way, whenever you go into any of these class, I have a lot of information. So don't just look at the top here. Try to scroll down and see if there's more information that you should know. And normally I do. I have a lot of information there, especially for things like the welcome page at the very bottom. If you want to see previous classes, that's there, or information about me. Class references are the same. They go down pretty deep. Really, all you need to know is really this one up here, the papers necessary for your homework. So you go into here, and I have several papers that you should read to get kind of comfortable with the homework. And we'll get into that when we get near the end here. And then discussion board, I'll have a discussion board for the team project. You'll see that. And of course, my grades at the bottom. And you should have had quiz 1 completed. All right. All right. So that is where we stand. One thing I do want to encourage you, I may not see your raised hand or your little chat, so do unmute and just jump in and say, hey, professor, and of course you'll startle me a little bit, but that's a good way to get some talking back and forth. Want it to be like a class. You should be able to interrupt me if things aren't making sense. All right, let me go ahead and share. Let me stop and open. Oh yeah. So what I want you all to do, I'm going to go ahead and share this right here. You all should see. You should see my thing now. Does everybody? I don't know how to say this. Sorry for disappearing for a second. So I don't believe you can see me. You cannot. Okay. Okay, didn't mean to do that. I think I inadvertently. There we go. Don't know what that did. All right. All right. I know this is a black screen. What we're doing is we're seeing the chat. If you notice over here, you can hit the participants. You should be able to see what in, of course, the chat. You can type in there. You can even send files within this chat. And you can raise your hand, just like you do there, right? Sheev, we saw you there for a few seconds, so that works too. And of course, I don't believe I give you the ability to share, but actually, I'm going. I think you can share. You just hit this here, and you should be able to select something. We'll talk about that because that's important. Now, what I want you all to do is to click on the outside of this and hit Teams over here. See this over here? I want you to click on Teams, and once you've done that, your screen should look like this, where you can actually see the Teams general thing and the thing in the upper left-hand corner. Can you please raise your hand if you've done this, okay? And I will track you. How will I do? How do I figure out if you've done that or not? Wait a minute. There's a way I can do this. Wait. It's not. Looks like you can do either one or more. Okay, so only about 3 of you. I mean, come on. Teams on the left-hand side, shrink it up. If that works, you can't hit. Wow, I really thought you could do that. Okay, you can't do that. You have to click back here, go back here, raise your hand, and then click Teams again. There you go. Oh my gosh, that's so buggy. So anyway, that's how you go back and forth. Okay, this shows you what's ever been sharing and things like that. Notice I have a lot of you have been able to work it already. And then you click on Teams on the upper left-hand corner, and you're able to now get this over here, and down here you can oversee it. Now, the reason I'm having you do that is because this is how you'll be able to work the team projects. When I tell you to go ahead, go into your class team, you can actually get out of this right here and go to your team, and you'll see a meeting there. You can hit the meet here, hit reply here, hit a meet here, which might not want to do that. Start a new conversation that says, I want to do this exercise. And when you do that, you can actually start here. Let me show you how to do that. You'll say start exercise, right? And when you do that, you hit the reply button, and there's a meet down there. Now, what's nice about doing that? Oh, shoot, just turned myself off. No, I didn't. Whoa, am I still there? Can you hear me? Hope you can still hear me. I think I'm still there. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm still there. All right, so almost got out. So when that happens, you'll get out of this meeting and go to the other meeting. Actually, I think you might be able to get into 2 meetings that way. That's an interesting thing to do. All right, so that's where we are. What I want you to do now, okay, is go to Teams, go to your General, go to Files, see if you can do this, follow me along, and you might be able to do this if you put it up in the corner, and you should be able to see it in the upper left-hand corner. Let me do it over here. All right, I know I'm really kind of small up in the upper left-hand corner. You can go big for a little bit and then go back out. But you'll see the files. And under files, I want you to, at student stories, I want you to hit the 3 little buttons, click on that, and say open in browser. Yeah, open in browser. See if you can do that for me. I'm going to do that now, and I should be able to see who's been able to open up Student Stories 2020. This is a very important aspect of Microsoft Teams because it allows you during the exercise, the 4 of you or 3 of you should be able to work together on one document. So open the Student Stories PowerPoint, open in browser, and you should get, oops, let me go back. And actually, I may not be able to open in browser. Okay, let me try again. Open in browser. All right, here we go. You guys can't see this. It opened up in a separate browser. I just need to open up my, sometimes it'll, oh, you know what? Not open in browser, open in app. That's what I meant to say. Open, edit in Teams. All right, let's do this again. Go back. All right, make it big so you can see me. Go to Files, go to Student Folders, hit Edit, Open, Edit in Teams, and there we go. It opened up. All right. Oh, a lot of you are already in. Good, good. All right. Yeah. Okay. Alden's in. Okay. Jordan, the rest of you. Oh, thank God this is working. All right. Now that you're in, just go to your name and start telling me like you did before, where you work and what degree, what you have, bachelor's degree, and what you're trying to obtain. So I'll put my story in here. Let me do that. Yeah, good, guys. Good. You're doing great. Excellent. Now, hopefully you guys are seeing how this is working. Okay, Hashim, can you get in? Don't know if you're in yet. You are in. Go ahead and start typing next to your name there. Now, it's important that you open it in Teams. If you didn't, go ahead and close it and see if you can open it in Teams, because I kind of messed it up there. Shiv, you should be able to start typing next to your name. I just want to make sure everybody can do this. Hashim, you there? There you go, Hashim. We see you. Shiv, yeah, we see you. Jay, are you in? I don't know if Jay's in yet. Okay, Precious is working. Jay, you're working. Good. Jay, are you in India right now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, okay, well, if there's a little delay, that's understandable. Understandable. All right. Oh my gosh, everybody got in. I am so happy this worked out. So this is really good. Okay. Everybody finish up. Now, as you can see by being in this document, you saw everybody working it. Okay. This is how you're actually going to work with the team environment. Okay. You're going to be able to go to your channel. Okay. Open up your channel and be able to do something. So let me show you what that will look like as they finish this up. Now, I wonder if I hit Teams, this will go away. I think it will. I don't know if I can get back to that. Okay, so I think I can if I go up here and hit Open in Teams. But notice over here, you should only see one channel. It depends on what team you've been assigned. You should be able to see you're in Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. Let's say you're in Team 3. When you click on that, when you go to Files, you'll see all the exercise files. You go up there, click on one of these, open in Teams, and you all work together on that file. Now, you could have one person work it as you talk and actually put the information in. But this will give you guys the ability to all work together on one thing as you work in. So that's how Teams works. Okay. Let me see how well you've done. Let me go back to General. Go back to Files. Go back to Student Thing and hit Open in Teams. Let me see how well you did. Great, great. Okay, everybody's done. Good job. Now I can go in and do some editing as well. As you can see, I can do some corrections there and stuff. So very good. So you can go ahead and now click on the left-hand side for Teams or hit close up here and just close out. And get out of that. You don't want to stay stuck in there. I don't know how much bandwidth all this takes. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go back to my sharing, and I'm going to go ahead and share the PowerPoint. So what you want to do is now go to the left-hand corner and click on that so that now it'll be a big slide. for you. So click the upper left-hand corner and make it large. If you now see, let me get this. Oh man, this is so difficult to do. Oh, there we go. I got it. All right. If you have some questions, I notice a lot of people have their hands up. I don't know if they've closed them down. Okay, good. You're shutting down your hands. That's good. I do have a question for you. Do you see a big slides now? Do you see the big slides? Raise your hand if you see the big slide. Did you go in the upper left-hand corner and make it big again? Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get you used to going back and forth in teams. Very important as we're working this. Okay, only a few of you see the big slide again. Just again, go into Teams, go in the upper left-hand corner and click on the thing that says Blackboard. It should be large again. Okay, tell me if you're still having trouble. Alden, you having any trouble? Hashim, Elise? Okay, Alden's good. Okay, keep your hands up so I know that you guys are good. Trying to get a poll here. Want to make sure everybody can see the slides. Okay, I'm going to keep moving, but do try to get used to getting in and out. You can go ahead and lower your hands now. Do try to get used to getting the slides big again, because I do go through the slides, and it's an important part of our of the lecture as we go ahead here. All right. I'm going to start at 4:30. Try not to be late. Again, this is a dialogue, so please unmute and just interrupt me if you want. That'll be good. And it'd be good if you do have the ability to get a camera or something in order to show your face. That's sometimes helpful when you do team discussions. All right, what are the components of the system engineering? And what are the expectations? So basically it goes like this. We have pre-class quizzes. I give you some papers to read or the SE Bach article to look over. And then I give you a quiz about 5 questions. You answer those. Basically, I do that so that you're prepared for the class lecture. And in the class lecture, I'll actually do some exercises. We're about to get into one fairly quickly here. And in that exercise, you'll be getting together with your team that you've been assigned, and you'll be able to do something for me. And I'll give you about like 10 or 15 minutes. By the way, you'll notice I don't really have breaks per se, because when we do the exercise, that may be a time for you as a team to say, hey, let's all take a few minutes break and then get back and start doing the exercise. I will give you a good 20 minutes or something for each exercise. At the end of the class, every other class, I'll have a homework. I'll explain what that is. You'll get about 5 of those. You'll have a bonus one at the end of the class here, course, in order to try and improve your grade if you need to. And testing, which is the midterm and the final. And of course, one of the more important aspects is the team projects. All of these will have a percentage, and you can read the syllabus in order to understand that. So the quizzes are always under the class folders based on the readings. Prepare for it, and it's about 10% of your grade. Class lectures and exercise, I always give you the slides beforehand. The exercise as well. You'll go ahead and get together under the Microsoft Teams channel that you're at. You'll be able to pull up a what they call Meet Now and be able to talk to each other. One nice thing about you doing that is I'll be able to go in and see it as well. I'll jump in and make sure that you guys are on track, as well as tell you, hey, everybody else is done, finish up, things like that. At the end of your team, do try to figure out who's going to speak. I've had a class where I've done this before. I say, okay, team 3, time to explain and then there's silence, you know. So always have someone who's ready to jump in when I say it's time for your team to present. All right. And part of that presenting is they need to share or at least show their PowerPoint. All right. This is, of course, the lectures. We have about 12 of them that we'll be doing. This shows you when the homework is assigned, when they're due. As you can see, about 5 throughout the thing. We have several presentations. We'll be doing that virtually here. That'll be an interesting thing. And the midterm and final exams, they're done on the PowerPoint, not PowerPoint. They're doing on Blackboard. All right. So the dates are in the welcome page. Go to that scope and sequence on the welcome page, and you'll be able to download that and see what dates these are. Homework assignments is every 2 weeks. Try to submit things via Blackboard using the. I'll have a actual like assignment that you can upload your answers into Blackboard as a PDF. That usually helps me grade it a lot better. So do try to pay attention to that. Sometimes I don't need PDF. Majority of times I do. If I need it in the original format, I'll let you know. That's normally something like your assessment of your teammates. I usually need that as a spreadsheet, but most of the time it's a PDF. I don't like things being late because I try to grade them that week and then submit the answers so that all the students can see how well they've done. If you're late, I can't do that. So I'm going to dock you for being late. And if you're over a week late, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a 0. So do not be late in getting your assignment in. And of course, they're all under the Blackboard under assignments, or as well as the class folders, as I showed you. That's about 25% of your grade. Testing, I have a midterm and a final, both 15%. So it's 30% altogether, but that's within Blackboard under that testing folder. Do try to set time aside. Make sure you have a good internet while you're doing that. So they're all based on these lectures and your reading and your quizzes, nothing beyond that. It's about 40 questions, mix and match, some multiple choice, multiple answer type things, so that it'll grade it automatically. The team project, what we're doing is we're taking that whole idea of the intelligent highway, and we're just taking it one step further. Now, the whole idea of our class is system integration, implementation, integration, and tests. So you're always working with these various components. So I'm splitting you off into about 4 teams of about 3 people each. And what you'll be doing is actually presenting one of the components of a larger system. And we'll be doing a critical design review and a test readiness review. And I have a lot of artifacts I want you to work with. You have to work as a team, and your whole team will get a grade, and that's 25% of your entire grade. So you do want to do well on these. And you need to work together, please, as you're doing this. So each member, I have every member do an assessment on on themselves, as well as on their teammates. You'll find that, and I'll provide you those appraisals. That's about 5% of your grade. So do try to work together. It will kind of impact your grade. Try to do your part to be part of the team and to pull your weight as you're doing that. That's about 35% of your whole grade. So be sure to do that. The class software, this is for the team project. You'll be downloading Core 9.0 from Vitech. hopefully you've done core before. I'm sorry, Rhoda, your hand is up and I didn't even see it. You can unmute if you want to ask your question. Oh, hands down. Okay. Okay, let's do that. How many of you have done core oh, well, wait a minute. Before we do that, don't raise your hand yet. Raise your hand if you took 661. 661. That's an important aspect of this team project. And if you didn't take 661, that's not good. Okay. Okay. Keep them raised because I just need to see who has not taken it. So Jay, you have not, correct? Let me see if anybody else. Jeff, you have not taken it, and Kalish. All right. When we go through the team members, let's make sure you guys are in teams that have people. Like I don't want you three being on the same team. So, okay, we'll have to work through that. Let me take note of that. Jeff, Kalish, and Jay. Okay, Jay, Jeff, and Kalish. All right. All right, we'll have to work on that. Okay, thank you. You can lower your hand now. I'm glad to see most of you have taken it. And it looks like I have my hand raised. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Okay, lower your hand. Your PDF writer, that's an important thing. I do expect PDFs. I actually show you how you can combine PDFs if you need to. This is just grading by the numbers. You want to get 100%. You need to get all these aspects or components of 663 all together. And this shows you the schedule. I need you to start thinking and preparing for the brief. I need you to submit a plan. That's one of the things you do for your team project. And then actually present to CDR. Then you do your midterm, then you start preparing your TTR. So one of the things I need you to do is as a team start working on preparing your plan. So you'll notice that I already presented within the team project, I gave you the PDF, the CDR and the TRR information. So you should be able to go through that and figure out who is assigned to what, be it doing the actual database, or doing some analysis that I've asked you to do, but everybody should be assigned some kind of aspect of it. And I really do want you guys to try to gel together when you give a presentation. I've seen a lot of teams where a student would get up, one of the teammates, and it's obvious the other teammates have not looked at their slides or worked on their slides together. So do try to work that as your working thing. All right, remember the 661. A lot of you, by the way, 2 of you still have your hand raised. Let me check your, and I'm going to stop every now and then if I see a hand raised just to see if you have a thing. Okay, so Alden, you have your hand raised. All right, I'm going to lower it for you. All right. So 661 process overview. So remember they talked about what exactly is your stakeholder requirements, what is the customer or the client, and those who are actually involved in building this system, what are their requirements? And that kind of comes into this kind of mission-oriented aspect of your requirements. And then from there, you have to do the analysis of your requirements and then figure out, well, what exactly are the functions and how do those functions correspond to an actual element within your system. And that's where your architecture design comes in. What are those physical components that actually will work the functions that you've identified? So stakeholder requirements definition, requirements analysis, and architecture design are all important aspects. Should have learned this in 661. I'm not going to go into excruciating detail on this. We're going to touch on it again, but I am going to have you do that for the critical design review. I do expect you to do that kind of aspect as we're working that. Remember that there was a System V chart. You did kind of the left side of the V where you understand the user requirements, develop the system specs, expand your functional understanding, and then actually do an architecture of how you're actually going to put this together. I come in this class comes in when we actually implement it, actually do the inspection, assemble it, integrate it, and then we verify and validate it. So that's, we're on the right side of the V. So we're going to follow on and cover that translation of design specs into the product elements themselves, integrating them together, doing your verification and validation. So it's this product development lifecycle we'll be following, everything beyond system architecture and design. Now, your team project, we're going to take that intelligent transport system and actually use an old 1990s intelligent highway system. And that's the actual file I gave you is all those requirements in order for you to work these things. So we're going to help Morton actually figure out what the intelligent highway system is. And we have these functional teams. And that is precisely where your team will be. So team 1, you'll do the managed traffic. Team 2 will be managed commercial vehicles. Team 3 will provide vehicle monitoring and control. And team 4 will manage the transit of people throughout the system. So I'm going to give you an initial core database that has about 160 user requirements, 422 functions, a lot of logical flows and components. Now, that will help you. What I've done within that core, I also have a example core database of a function that I did. So I did function 7, and my function of interest was function 7.2. And then I showed the various requirements in the component that I used in order to do that. Now I do that so that whoever's doing your core database, they can look at my example and see some of the aspects of what I did in order to answer the CDR questions. So go into the actual I keep saying PowerPoint, Blackboard, and you'll actually see where to download core. You'll see this team assignment, critical design. All this will be there. The interface discussion board should be there. Let me know if you don't see it. That is something. And also, I've given you group pages to work with as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to just pause for a few seconds to see if anybody wants to jump in, has any questions so far about the components of this class. Is there anything that I'm miscommunicating or is confusing? Usually I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing this for 12 years. So if I miss something, let me know. Sometimes I do gloss over things and really it may be a little difficult to follow. All right. Looks like everybody's good. All right. All right. We'll keep going then. All right. Then what I wanted you to do, and this is our first time at this. By the time we get to class 3, you'll be an expert at this. But what I want you to do is gather in your channel and start a meet now. And so that way you guys can talk to each other. So when you meet now, you shouldn't be on mute. You should be able to talk, crosstalk, and try to get your thing together. And what I want you to do is discuss your functional area that your team has been assigned, and then try to pick out a team name. I'm going to go in there, and I need you to put your camera on if you have one, and I'm going to take a picture of your team together. So that's basically all I want you to do. Oh, I do want you to do this. Let me share over here and open up something real quick. Class overview. Yeah, that one. All right. When you're over into your teams section, go ahead and go back to general. You should be able to go to your team, start a new conversation, say, exercise 1. Go to your files and you'll see, well, this actually, it's not exercise 1 yet. Okay, that's not exercise. This is a pre-exercise. So what I want you to do is go to the general and go up here to files. You'll notice I have a file called team assignments. Open that in Teams and go ahead and type in your team name. Now, you may not have a function of interest. You still need to talk about that. But type in your team name. When I see all four names there, then I know you guys are done. So I'll be monitoring this as we move along here. All right. Is there any questions? Go ahead and start working. Start working the teams. So you can get out. I'm going to keep my this conversation on. You can have more than one. Let me show you that one more time. That was this one. When you click on this Teams thing here, just click on your channel and either hit Meet Now or start a new conversation and do a meet there. Totally up to you how you want to do it. But do go ahead and start them. Okay, Team 2 and Team 3 have already started. That's great. So Team 1, get in there, and Team 4. Okay, good. Good. You guys are starting. Excellent. And now we need Team 1. So Jeff, Precious, there you go. Good. Okay. I'm going to pause this now. So you guys should be out of my class here for now. Okay. Hit pause. Now, if you're not already in your class, you should be in your class. You'll be on hold here, but you go ahead and go into your team channel and join that. Okay? Let me know if you're having any trouble doing that. Go ahead and stop recording. I pause the recording.